when I'm trying to fall asleep and there's a lot of rain and a lot of wind, and you just know that it is absolutely cold outside, and there you are in your bed with the blankets all cozy. It's just the best feeling. So today is a rainy day. It is Sunday in August. We do have summers in the Netherlands, and we actually have lots of days without rain, although we do have lots of days with rain. But today was a day where it rained, well, almost exclusively, which is not, no, it's not entirely true. It already rained during the night, last night. Then it rained when we woke up, my son and I. And it rained, well, until maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And by then, we went outside for a little walk. And it wasn't 100% dry. However, it was like almost dry. So it was actually nice to be outside. By the way, I also love to go outside if it's raining. Although there are some conditions which either make it better or worse. What I really like about being outside when it's uncomfortable and wet and cold, it's kind of like this stoic idea where you on purpose choose to sometimes endure things that are uncomfortable, hard, maybe, because if you do so, you train yourself and you know that you can handle them, and that gives, well, that makes, well, how do I explain this correctly? If you know that you can handle the uncomfortable, then you aren't as afraid to lose the comfortable. And it can actually be kind of a mind fuck, that you think you have it all. You know, you're settled. You have a house, a good house, a nice house, you have money, you have it all. But then what do you also have? Stress, because you fear losing it. So this stoic idea is that if you train yourself to endure the hardships, the uncomfortable, maybe even find ways to enjoy the uncomfortable, then that makes sure that this added layer of stress, this fear of losing things, well, it might be gone or it might be significantly less. And I don't know if it's my character or what, but I've always been drawn to this idea. As a matter of fact, I have been thinking about this, well, not as coherently as the Stoics, you know, who have been, the Stoics is from the ancient Greek, so it's very old, a very old philosophy. But when I first found out about the Stoics, I felt like, oh wow, this is my school of thought. I'm kind of in a raw form. I'm thinking like this. This is like my natural inclination to approach life. So, yeah, that was interesting. And then obviously I started reading about it, and I discovered a lot more that I enjoyed and find to be helpful. And in part, being in the rain and sometimes being just don't feel like there's all these restrictions. You can just pick everything up, turn it upside down, and do whatever you please. And that's what I love about the rain. I also have very good memories. I like driving in a car when it's raining. I like especially it being in a tent when it's raining. Especially at night, where you don't necessarily want to go out for a day, because before I spoke about the conditions, and one of the conditions is that one thing that I do not like. There are many things, but one thing that I do not like is that if you go through the rain and you get soaked, and then you have no opportunity to change your clothes in the foreseeable future, that is annoying. Still, I can deal with it, but it is annoying. So I can imagine being on a trip, a camping trip, then you don't want rain all the time. Although the good thing about a tent is that usually you can just pick it up and move, follow the sun. But being in a tent and then the rain drops on the fabric of the tent, and there you are inside, chatting with a friend maybe, or just by yourself. It's just wonderful. I just love the rain so much. So much. One other thing that happened today on our walk, because of the rain actually. Let me see, now I need to. I'm going to get my phone to see if I can find a word, because I wanna say a word in English, and I don't know the translation in Dutch. It is wip wap. Just a minute, I'm gonna try and look it up. You can just listen to the rain some more. I'll be right back. Wip wap. English. Alright, let me see if there is a translation. A teeterboard. Is it a thing? Let me see. A teeter-totter or a seesaw. Do you know what that is? A teeter-totter, like one of those things that, a long thing, and you can sit on either side, and then you can, one person goes up and the other person goes down, and vice versa. Well, usually when we go to a playground, and we do that often because my son loves it. However, he adores the slides. So usually it's just the slides and the slides only. And for a while I've been trying to get him to sit on a wip wap with me. A teeter-totter seesaw. I don't know. I find these words strange. Let me just say wip wap, because by this point I think you know what I'm talking about. So I've been trying to get my son on a wip wap with me, but he wasn't having it. But today all the slides were wet because of the rain, and they were rather wet. They were this wet that my son even noticed, and he was like, I'm not gonna use that slide. And I was like, well, you could maybe, we're close to the home we're in, so we can change. But he was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. But then I saw this wip up, and it was actually pretty dry. I think all our children had been using it after, the rain. So I was like, do you want to try this? And he was like, okay, sure. And I was like, oh wow, he never wants person should actually not sit on the actual seat, but sit closer to the middle, because that way, because of physics, the weight is distributed differently, and it's actually possible to whip up with a person who is not, in your weight range. However, this whip up somehow, I don't know, but was a very good one, because we could both just sit on the actual seats and it worked just fine. Even though I am like, I don't even know. I don't weigh myself anymore. I don't know. My son doesn't. I don't weigh my son either. But, obviously he's a toddler, so. And the thing is, he enjoyed it so much. He enjoyed it so much. And he was kind of impressed, like he was holding on tightly. And at one point I thought maybe he is, maybe he finds it to be a little bit scary. So I asked him, do you want to quit? And he was like, no, let's continue. And then I noticed, like, okay, he's just, impressed, overwhelmed a little bit, but in a good way. So, because of the rain, we got to use the whip up, and it was awesome. I think by now you are for sure sleeping already. I mean, obviously, I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's no way that you're still awake. By the way, if you are, don't worry about it. I don't know, sometimes falling asleep takes a little bit, but I find that if I just change my mind into the trick for me is that I have to be okay with it. So I just tell myself, even if I'm just not gonna sleep at all tonight, I will be fine tomorrow. And then I just relax, and then I can ease my body. One thing that also helps if I'm trying to fall asleep, besides listening to the rain, is to just relax all my muscles in my body. And I find the easiest way to do so to first, what's the word? To first tense them up. I'm looking for a verb that is, but if you first make sure that all your muscles are tense, and you can do your whole body at once, or you can just do your feet and then your legs and, just your whole body one by one. But if you tense your muscles and then you release, then I feel like, oh wow, yes, now I'm relaxed. And I just love that feeling, and then I'm just listening to the rain or to somebody whispering or a combination like this. By the way, if you are still awake, this is your chance to let me know if you would like to listen to this video without the whispering, because I could upload it without the whispering as a just rain video. That might be nice. Oh boy, I'm getting tired because of all this rainy, sleepy whispering. By the way, there's a cat next to me, Joop, the cat in the home where my son and I are in for a little bit. And even the cat is falling asleep. And he is next to me, so he must not hate the whispering. I haven't recorded enough videos here to really know if the cat will approach me every time when I'm whispering, or it is a pretty cuddly cat, so he is approaching me like always, basically. So I don't know if it's really the whispering or what. Yeah. So let's see. Rain in the Netherlands. Where almost, but fall is approaching, and I think fall is the season with most rain in the Netherlands, although it can rain year round basically. Although I do feel that what happened today, like just summery, probably because it's summer, but I don't remember. I remember the summer of 2019 very well because there was this huge heat wave and my son had just been born. So there I was with a newborn and I didn't dare to go outside because it was like 40 degrees and it was just nuts. But yeah, that was a special circumstance, obviously. And I also don't tend to look at the weather, meaning I tend to not try and find out what the weather is gonna be. I'm doing it a little bit more now sometimes because of my son, and I feel like, okay, I want to put him in the right clothes. But even still, I don't do it all that often. And when my son hadn't been born, I think what I would do, I would just always assume that the next day would be the same weather as the day before. And usually that works out fine, I feel like. So, if you do that, then there's gonna be a day that you're like, oh, it's actually pretty cold. So, I wish that I brought my jacket. So then, the next day, you're like, okay, let's bring my jacket, because yesterday I was kinda cold. So I bring a jacket. And then from then on, I'll just bring a jacket until one day I'll either realize it's getting hot, I don't need my jacket, or it's getting cold and I want my gloves as well, and then the day after I'll bring my gloves. I feel like that's just a very easy way of, a simple way. I don't know, I don't even know why I'm doing this. My mom thinks it's really strange. She checks the weather like always, and she's always like, oh, next Friday, yeah, but wait, it's gonna be a rainy day, and I'm like, next Friday? They don't know that. I mean, sure, there might be some sort of forecast, but that's gonna change, even the day before, they don't really know. Especially when it's gonna rain or not, that's, I don't know, they can't know that. They don't know that. But my mom is like, oh yeah, sure, they do. So that's actually kind of funny. So let me see if I have any more stories about the rain. Memories about the rain. Rain in a tent. Rain on a holiday. Rain in the car. Rain in a plane. Rain. Oh, raining. I actually did not mind when it rained when I was running, me in another life. I once ran a marathon, so I had to train like a lot. And at this point, yeah, I didn't mind. I didn't mind. For one, I'm sweaty easily, so some rain was actually nice, and you don't really get cold when you're running. So I felt like, yeah, it could actually be kind of cool and nice. So let's just